Former President Trump pushing full steam ahead to New Hampshire after a historic showing of support in Iowa. As much as his calendar is stacked with campaign events, it's also full of court dates. Earlier this hour, the jury was selected in his trial for defamation damages brought by E. Jean Carroll, all in the wake of Trump losing his top defense lawyer, Joe Tacopina. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and former Assistant U.S. Attorney Andy McCarthy. Andy, it seems if the former president's not on the campaign trail, he's in the courtroom.
It sure does, John. And, you know, the E. Jean Carroll case, this is part two. Obviously, we had the trial last year, that part one. This, as you mentioned, is just on damages, but it's going to remind people of what those tawdry allegations were back when. And as we're in that trial, we're waiting any minute for a ruling from the judge in the civil fraud case in New York, where the New York Attorney General is trying to disgorge Trump of $370 million and put him out of business. We're waiting for the D.C. Circuit to decide the immunity issue that was argued last week. And we're waiting for another court on the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, and that's before we get to the next run of trials.
Yeah, you know, in terms of the trials, let me put up on the screen what the docket looks like. The E. Jean Carroll defamation damages case, currently ongoing. Then there's a March 4th start date for the 2020 election trial being brought by Jack Smith. Then there's the Stormy Daniels case being brought by Alvin Bragg in New York City. That's got a start date of March the 25th. Then there's the Mar-a-Lago documents case brought by Jack Smith, tentative date of May 20th, set to start there. And then the Georgia election with Fani Willis. We don't know when that's going to happen. It's going to happen at some time. You wrote in the National Review in a column, quote, "We've never seen anything like 2024's promised collision of electoral politics and high-stakes trials. I really hope we don't see anything like it again." But what effect do you think that this is going to have on politics and the legal system?
Well, I think you're going to get a steady thrum. It's really already beginning today with E. Jean Carroll. That every day is going to remind the public of what the allegations are in these cases. That was why the Democrats timed the indictment so that they could be, at this point during the primaries and then be tried as you were going to the run-up of the election. I don't know how many of these cases will get tried. It looks like the March 4th date is in doubt because the Supreme Court's going to decide an important issue about obstruction that's key to that case, even though the Supremes will be looking at it in a different case. That could affect the March 4th date. I don't know that the March 25th date on Alvin Bragg's case was ever very real, or that he's actually tripping over himself to get that case to trial, but that's going to remind people of a number of tawdry allegations. Nobody, John, I think, thinks that the May 20th date on Mar-a-Lago is real. But there will have to be extensive pretrial proceedings in that case, which, again, are going to remind people of what the allegations are there of recklessness with national security information and obstruction of a grand jury. This is what people are going to be hearing about every single day.
On the subject of tawdry allegations, we understand that Fani Willis will answer the claims of allegations of an inappropriate romantic relationship with a special prosecutor that she hired in court papers, which will be filed soon. We also understand that she has been subpoenaed for a deposition by Nathan Wade's soon-to-be ex-wife in that case. What might we learn here, Andy?
Well, it really is... It's so 2024, isn't it? But I think the main allegation here, if to take the alleged sexual liaison as far out of it as you can, is that she represented to Fulton County that she needed money to address the backlog of COVID cases in the office, and then she tapped into that money to pay an awful lot, the county money, to pay an awful lot to this guy Nathan Wade, who doesn't really seem to have the kind of background that you would want for a special counsel in a RICO case. But she paid him goo gobs of money, and then the allegation is that she's a derivative beneficiary of that because she went on vacations with the guy and all that stuff. So it would be lawless if apparently under Georgia law, if she appointed him as a special counsel without getting approval from the county, and then he didn't file his oath of office with the court before he started acting on the case. Lot there that could actually impact whether the initiation of the case was proper.
I think a lot more to come on that particular front.
Yep.
Andy McCarthy, always great to see you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.